Bro, I actually hate Hassan's chat. I make an active effort not to look at Hassan's chat because it is actually one of the most heinous things I have ever read. All right, like I take a look at Hassan's chat and one of the comments is, "This is why Hassan gets bitches." Omega lol kek w. Like it's just no. How can the Jews trust them? And they don't, right? It's like the meme. Nobody ever trusts the Jews because insert Jewish conspiracy here. But then the Jews don't trust anyone else for, in terms of protecting them, right?
Jews living in Algeria would be citizens, would be actual Algerian citizens, but they would have to denounce their French citizenship for that process. So what did Jews do in Algeria that collaborated with the colonial apparatus at the time? They went to fucking France. They didn't fly to Israel because
Hassan trying to make arguments for anti-Semitism? Well, he already has. He's been making arguments for anti-Semitism the entire time, by the way.
they were being pogromed, they fucking chose to be French citizens. That's what happened to the Algerian Jews. This is the reason why you can't fucking make this comparison between what took place in all these other Arab countries and what took place in Israel. None of these people are actually Palestinians. So why the fuck are the Palestinians constantly getting destroyed in this process? It's a nitpick, but calling
Dude, are you okay? Jesus.
Israelis the Jews is unironically perpetuating and promoting anti-Semitism en masse. It's gross. Thank you for actually pointing that out, Jay Mershon. You are absolutely fucking correct. I keep forgetting because there's so many different things that he has said in 15 minutes that has taken me hours and hours.
Wait, holy shit. Wait, that's true, isn't it? I didn't even notice this. Wait, so this chatter has noticed. Hold on.
Hours and hours. The fucking. None of these people are actually Palestinians. So why the fuck are the Palestinians constantly getting destroyed in this process? It's a nitpick, but calling Israelis the Jews is unironically perpetuating and promoting anti-Semitism en masse. It's gross. Thank you for actually pointing that out, Jay Mershon. You are absolutely fucking correct. I keep forgetting because there's so many different things that he has said in 15 minutes that has taken me hours and hours and hours to fucking explain. They laughed at you for this. Oh yeah, the government of Iraq ran full-page advertising.
Ooh, okay. I don't know whether or not to hammer in on Hassan for this, okay? Because it could entirely be an accident that he's saying Jews instead of Israelis. But the fact that he keeps on saying, like, I don't know, like he keeps Freudian slipping, I guess. I don't know. I would have to keep on watching from. And I would have to make sure to tell whether or not he's referring to the Jews or not. Yeah, we'll see.
Is calling for the return of its Iraqi Jews who had fled their country, Iraq, after the breakout of the 1948 war. Anyway, that doesn't mean that there wasn't fucking expulsions that were taking place. Not mass expulsions in the same fucking way that Israel conducted, well, before Israel, Zionist brigades conducted. But the idea that, like, this is somehow comparable to the Nakba is fucking gross. It's disgusting. It's a double genocide theory. That's all this is. Well, you know, in the aftermath of World War I, a lot of Germans felt displaced. They felt wronged by World War I. They took on incredible amounts of fucking casualties. So I guess it was permissible to do the Holocaust would be a fucking psychotic argument to make. And it's actually one that famous historian, not real historian, Daryl, whatever the fuck his name is, that goes on Joe Rogan, made time and time again. And I shit on him for making that fucking stupid ass argument. But when Ethan gets to say this about how Jews had nowhere to go, so they had to kill some fucking Arabs to kill some goddamn Palestinian Arabs to take over their fucking land, what are you going to do about it, you know? No one ever thinks this is an insanely fucking racist thing to say because everyone thinks Arabs are not human, okay? It's fucking crazy. Sorry for the nitpick. The Vichy government fell after World War II. Algiers was under another government. No, I'm talking about
most certainly
instability against Jews under Vichy France was pre-World War II. I'm saying that, like, there are Algerian Jews that were harmed, okay, throughout this history. But all the way through World War II, the harm that was happening under the watchful gaze of fucking Vichy France in Algeria. Do you not understand my point? Because he looks at the entire scope of not even post-1948, pre-1948 anti-Semitism that took place in Arab countries, and then says all Arabs are like this. Daryl Cooper is the name of the Holocaust revisionist that I was talking about. Exactly. Daryl Cooper says, well, Germans had their feelings.
This is actually a good take to Germany after World War One comparison. Uh, no. I just don't see how that's relevant. Yeah. You post your coverage of Destiny reading as law stuff? Um, no. Mm-mm. No. Should I? Is it good? Is it good content? Here's the thing, okay? The problem is that when Destiny... Sorry, I wasn't listening to Hasan ramble on for like a good 5 minutes or 10 minutes there, okay? It's really easy to tune out Hasan. Dude, the thing with Destiny reading out his legal court case shit is because I don't actually know all that much about the legal precedent of anything. Like I feel like I don't have enough of a lawyer brain to figure out stuff like that, I guess. So I feel like I feel misinformed or uninformed about it. So I don't want to cover something without any kind of knowledge about, the legal process of that.
Germans have had their fucking feelings hurt after World War One. So what are you going to do about it? Lo and behold, that's why the Holocaust had to happen. That is the same argument that he's making here, Germans experienced a lot of economic instability, and therefore they became much more militant and said that the perpetrators were Jews.
1 million Jews. All of these surrounding Arab countries had vibrant Jewish communities in huge number, hundreds of thousands. Now, if you look at them, you're looking at close to, if not literally, 0 Jews left in these countries.
Just to give you an idea, here's a visual representation of the Jewish refugees after 1948. Morocco had 265,000 Jews. Now it has...
Okay, please do not, Hasan, please do not pause. Okay, for the love of God, can you just please let him finish like a single fucking segment? Dude, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I feel like Hasan just feels the need to correct Ethan at every single possible thing. Also, if you're gonna tune out when Hasan yaps, it's not worth watching him react. He does like a 4 hours react to like a 30-minute segment. No. The reason is because I haven't paying attention this entire time. But it's just like very occasionally I tune him out for like 5 minutes, okay? Not every time, all right? But like that was like probably one of the only moments where I tuned out for like 5 minutes or so. Jesus.
2,000. Algeria had 104.
Well, thank God I fucking brought up Algeria, by the way. Yeah, where did the Algerian Jews go, Ethan? Algerian Jews were historically considered French citizens. They were collaborators with the French occupiers. The Algerian government, in the aftermath of the liberation, turned around and said, hey, you can be Algerian citizens. You just have to renounce your French citizenship. And lo and behold, they were like, fuck off. I'm going to France. I'm going to be French now. And that's precisely what took place here. You are making this comparison to seem like, there was ethnic cleansing happening in fucking Algeria to Jews. Holy shit.
Okay, so I guess the claim here is Jews leaving Algeria. Why did so many Jews leave Algeria? So I'm reading this off of Google right now, okay? The majority of Algerian Jews left for France not due to persecution in Algeria, but because of their strong sense of French identity and a desire to be part of the French nation. While some Algerian Jews did leave for Israel, the majority opted for France, where they had long been French citizens and were seen as part of the French community. Okay, fair enough. I mean, maybe this is actually a genuine mistake that Ethan Klein has made. All right. Yeah, a lot of them have went to France, maybe. French Algeria, okay. The Algerian Jewish population mostly congregate in the coastal area. How were Jews treated in Algeria? Okay, never fucking mind, I guess. Jesus Christ, dude. Jews in Algeria faced significant discrimination and persecution, particularly during French colonial rule in the World War II era. Initially, they were granted French citizenship, but this was revoked under Vichy France, leading to a denial of citizenship, limitations on unemployment and education. Wait, doesn't this go against wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Doesn't this go against Hasan's narrative? Because Hasan argues that people leave for Israel because of Israeli supremacy. But then if the Jews were really like supremacists there, right? Why the fuck would they leave for France instead? They left for France because they were just mainly seeking safety, right? They were just mainly seeking safety, and they probably thought that France offered better safety than Israel. No? The Jews were not collaborating with Vichy France. Vichy France was a New Zealand puppet state. Jesus. Also, Jews chose to be French because they preferred to be subject French civil law instead of whatever the Algerians were practicing. I mean, like, just a simple Google search turns up that, the Jews still faced heavy persecution in Algeria, right? Like, I'm sorry, the Arab world is so fucking violent towards Jewish people. Like, Jesus, dude. To some people, they both have the right to be there. To others, since they were forced there, they don't. And since Arabs conquest this land thousands of years, they have no rights. Okay, I don't know about all that. Honestly, if you're born there, I think you have a right, but that could be my American influence brain talking. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that Lynn is spitting, okay?
What happened to the Jews in Iraq, Egypt, Yemen, Morocco, Lebanon after 1948, Hasan? Oh my God, he's still doing this. He's still fucking trying to put this point together as though this is like there was.
Well, here's the deal. Like, why the fuck is there only like 50 Jews left in Algeria? Like, what the fuck are they doing there? Like, fucking in the middle of nowhere? Like,
There's nowhere to
yeah.
go. There was
Oh,
nowhere to
talking
go,
about SS?
okay?
Sorry, my
There was
bad.
nowhere to fucking go. You want to know why this argument is fucking moronic and is at the heart of Zionism? Because the Holocaust and centuries of pogroms and the fear is baked into the heart of Zionism. Israel must exist as a Jewish ethno-state.
Wait, hold the fuck on. Now, this is anti-Semitic. Wait, I'm sorry. Fear of the Holocaust. Fear of the Holocaust is baked into the hearts of Jewish people, not baked into the heart of Zionism. I'm sorry, but if you're a non-Zionist Jew, you 100% were afraid of the Holocaust at some point, right? Happening. Like, this isn't just a Zion. Gosh, wait, hold the fuck on, just 1 second. Did he just admit that Judaism and Zionism was the same fucking thing? Like, hold the fucking phone here. I feel like that's literally what he admitted to, no? Like, he literally just admitted to that. Jesus. Right? Because otherwise, why would you say that? Because the truth of the matter is that it's not baked into Zionism. It's baked into Judaism, right? Sorry, like young Jewish beliefs, right? Him framing the Jews are French collaborators and oppressing the Algerians is ahistorical. They were neutral. Some of them even joined the FLN, and they were truly stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay. I mean, he's already lying about, like what he's saying already doesn't make any sense, right? Because again, Jews weren't leaving for Israel because of supremacy. They were leaving out of fear.
A Jewish ethno-supremacist state. It has to exist that way, or else the Holocaust will happen again, is literally at the fucking heart of this entire argument. That's it. And that's precisely why he has to make it seem like all of the Jews in Algeria were actually dominated in an ethnic cleansing campaign in the same way that Israel, before it was Israel, the Zionist brigades had exterminated and also ethnically cleansed the
Oh, by the way, can somebody help me dig up a debate for me? I'm pretty sure it was Nux Taku versus A Cheeto on whether or not Israel is doing a genocide. I saw Queeman watching it. I tuned into Queeman for a moment, and I saw Queeman watching it. Can anybody dig that up for me? Thanks.
Palestinians from their ancestral lands. It has to be this way, because otherwise the entire project fucking falls apart. Fuck. Do you understand how stupid this argument is?
Chops, it doesn't make sense. He is saying that Jews were collaborating with the New Zealand. Are you sure it was New Zealand?
It monolithizes all Arabs across the board. Okay. And it also turns around and puts the blame on the Palestinians. It is a never ending cycle of, and a never ending justification of why Palestinians must be brutalized by Israel, because that's where the fucking Israeli state is. There's nothing we can do about it. It has to be an ethnic majority. It has to be a Jewish ethno-majority state. Otherwise, the
Oh, Nazi puppet state. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, Algeria. Oh, fuck. Right. Didn't they? Yes, they did. They were a puppet state of the Nazis, weren't they? Wait, yeah, okay, yeah, that doesn't fucking make any sense. Okay, all right, fuck. Wait, weren't they? No, New Zealand? You keep on saying NZ, and I thought you were talking about New Zealand. Hold on. Was Algeria a Nazi state? No, Algeria was not a Nazi state. While Algeria was occupied by Vichy France, which was a puppet regime of Nazi Germany, it was never directly governed by Nazi Germany. Wait, I mean, like, the French surrendered to the Nazis. So it's like, right? Like, potato, potato, right?
Holocaust will happen a million times over. That is the underlying argument here. I'm obviously exaggerating, but that is literally that generational trauma of real violence that Jews were subjected to historically is baked into the reason why Israel must exist in the way that it does, in the violent way that it does, as an apart.
Okay, never fucking mind, I guess. Like, he just said Jews. Because I was criticizing him for conflating Jewish, like, Judaism and Zionism, but he literally just said Jews. So, fuck me, I guess. Like, I guess he just fucking said it. I mean, like, okay.
State sitting on top of indigenous land that Palestinians are not allowed to be inside of, because if they were, God forbid, then in Ethan's words, what did Ethan say? Hold on, let me pull it up again. Where the fuck was Ethan's statement on this? Not this one. The one where he says, you know, if the walls come down, then all Jews will be destroyed. Is it really that fucked up to make this inference that Palestinians, Hamas will kill us if the walls come down?
But yeah, they would. I mean, if you're gonna make the walls come down, at least get rid of Hamas. Like, what reason does Hamas have for not killing all the fucking Israelis, right? Like, obviously they would. What the fuck are you talking? I just don't get why he's trying to defend this point. What a retarded point to defend. It's just so retarded. Like, there's just no other reason for him to say, there's no reason for him to say this. There's no reason for him to even stand on business, right? Of course Hamas would fucking kill. I'm sorry, but they're yeah, like, they would 100% do vengeful terrorism against the Israelis if they're let into Israel, dude.
Is this it?
100%.
No, not this one.
What a ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, this is
thing.
the one, yeah.
To take over all of Israel and happily coexist with fucking Israelis. One state solution is the fucking literal. I mean, one state solution is like kind of the same thing. Because if you have a one state solution and the right to return, which I agree with, right? I mean, Israel has the right to return. If there's a state of Palestine, it makes sense. But if you're in one state, all that's going to happen is like everybody is trying to bring as many people there as possible. And like by the time there frankly are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area. And once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, basically anything is fair game for the Jews. Anything.
Why? What the fuck are you saying? What the fuck are you saying? Israel has a right to return. Why the fuck does Israel? Why can any Jewish man right now, anywhere around the planet, can fucking go to Israel right now and be able to get a goddamn house in the fucking West Bank that the government will help fund, or Christians United for Israel will help fund, but a fucking Palestinian?
I'm not even sure if this is true, by the way. I'm pretty sure you can get a citizenship in Israel as a Jewish person, but I'm pretty, like, I don't think you can just simply get a fucking house in the West Bank, right? Unless you're, like, obscenely wealthy, maybe, or you have, like, obscene connections, maybe. Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying here.
that can't go back to see their ancestral village, partially because Israel most likely destroyed it and then built
I don't
some
think it's that
ugly
hard.
contraption on top of it. What a ridiculous fucking argument. Think about how fucking stupid this is. You can be Ethan Klein, an American Jew living in fucking Calabasas or wherever the fuck he grew up in California, and go live in Israel for 5 fucking years, but there's dudes on the Gaza boundary that cannot even peek over the fucking Gaza envelope to see their parents' houses. How the fuck is that appropriate? How is that acceptable? It's bull.
Ethan stating the concerns that Foodshops mentioned 20-ish minutes ago about the one state. Yeah, I mean, like, this is a common concern. Like, I want people to know, that this isn't just some kind of like radical like idea, by the way, right? It's very simple. There's so many Palestinians. If Palestinians outnumber the Jews in one state, right? Like, I'm sorry. Do you want a civil war? I'm sorry, but there's some things that are worse than just simply apartheid. Like the idea that you would just like bring down the walls and just let the fucking Palestinians in to Israel is just completely ludicrous. It's a very childish notion.
Bullshit. It's fucking insane. I feel like I'm losing my mind having this conversation,
If too many radical Arabs, and by the way, I'm not even talking about Hamas, by the way, just FYI, all right? I'm also talking about like the regular Palestinian civilian. Like, I'm sorry, maybe people don't want to hear this, okay? But it's just simply true. The regular Palestinian is also radicalized, okay? The regular Palestinian, sure, maybe they dislike Hamas, but they also have extremist beliefs, and they're also prone to violence and crazy shit, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm being racist, sure, a little bit maybe, right? But this is just the fact of the matter. Like, if you trap an entire population under, I honestly don't understand how you can listen to Hasan for so long. I had to sub. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna continue, okay? Because this is a personal challenge more than anything else. So, by the way, all right, this is just mainly me, like, trying to make this a personal mission for me to do this much commentary, okay? Listen, I have to do it, okay? I have to do it to him, okay? All right. But again, okay, if I was a Palestinian and I grew up with resentment to Israel, even though I dislike Hamas a lot, and then one day Israel just let down the walls for me to just enter Israel main, right? Why the fuck would I not be so resentful to the point where I might be convinced to do some crazy, unspeakable act, right? Like, is this really that much of a hot take to have? Like, I really, really don't think this is a hot take. Like, I'm sorry. It's just such a ludicrous notion that you think that like these people could just like enter or, like whenever the fuck they want. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck are you even talking about? This
conversation with Americans feels so crazy where you're like, these guys are literally trapped in an open air prison. Okay, they're trapped in a fucking open air prison. They can't go into Israel, and guys will literally turn around and tell you like, what do you mean Israel's fucking awesome, dude? Yeah, I mean, don't look over at the open air prison. There's a genocide going on there. But also anyone that fucking speaks out.
Jobs, after we all forget it, clip the specific part of Hasan saying the clear anti-Semitism claim. I don't know what you're specifically referring to, but okay. Yeah, sure.
Against that genocide is actually, lo and behold, an anti-Semite. He misspoke when he said Israel, just a heads up before he focuses on that. What are you talking about? What?
What? Sorry. I'm just being mean.
And I'm sorry, but Hamas, the governing fucking body there wants to kill all the fucking Jews.
That's just true.
Yeah, Morocco protected Moroccan Jews from the Vichy government during the Holocaust. Finally,
I mean, like what Ethan just said is just true. I'm sorry. This is, I can't believe, dude. I just can't believe like, yeah, no shit.
Acknowledged by the Israeli government recently, anti-Semitism is not as prevalent in Arab society as Ethan wants everyone to believe. If it's as mindless ancient figure as the Arabs. Herzog hails Moroccan king for country's treatment of Jews during the Holocaust. Oh.
And why did you bring up Morocco again?
All of these countries had very different attitudes. Okay, was there a lot of tension amongst the native Jewish population in these Arab nations? Yes, there was, but you cannot attribute the individual responses to the Nakba and how horrifying that was for people back to the Palestinians who are suffering in this process. And yeah, there are literally a right to return that was afforded to Jews over and over again. You know who didn't want that? Israel, because everybody fucking knows that's it. You're there. You don't want to go anywhere else.
By the way, I just want to say that there are like obvious critiques. There are like very clear-cut, obvious critiques of Israel. There's lots of things that you can criticize Israel for. For example, just as a clear example, I'm pretty sure the Israeli government denies the Nakba. Nakba denial is especially a problem. Like, for example, there was even groups in Israel who are trying to fight for the recognizing of the Nakba as an actual thing, because what Israel does is that they call the day of the Nakba Liberation Day. That's what they call it, right? It's kind of disgusting. But the thing is like, we can't get to the good faith criticisms until we have addressed like obvious bad actors like Hasan here, who is willing to manipulate the truth and, like just form fucking lies, right? Because there are really good criticisms that you can give to Israel, right? But the thing is that all of that is just poisoned by people like Hasan, which is like part of the frustration with Hasan, right? Yeah. Because he doesn't know geography. Remember the clip of him trying to locate Yemen? Yes, yeah. He's especially salty at something like that.